Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Car Addiction and welcome to a beautiful, gorgeous day in Canada. Today, I'm going to introduce you to my new daily. But before that, if this is your first time in my channel, I'm a huge Nissan enthusiast. I have three ZS Twin Turbo. Don't know why. I have an R32 Styline, which I am starting to love it slowly. It has its quirks and I guess I'm getting a little bit mature and understanding it a little bit more. I still absolutely hate my MR2, Toyota MR2. The good thing is, for some of my older followers, the Porsche 944 that I purchased to restore it, or I was supposed to, I sold it. There's a very good reason for it. We had a baby girl, and for that reason, I have to spend quite a bit of time inside the house giving my wife a hand, and I also have a 2.5-year-old toddler. So with this too, I figured that I don't have the time, resource, or the mindset to restore the car, which I talked about in the video, that I may not even restore the car, I may part it out. So I was supposed to part it out, but I just don't have the time, so I ended up selling it. The Nissan Xterra that I had, which was possessed by the devil himself, didn't pan out. It didn't pan out partly because my baby girl came to this world a couple of days early. That kind of threw a little bit of sprinkle dust in my list of things to do. So I decided, you know what, I needed a vehicle right away because my wife had to return her company vehicle. And I went to the interweb and bought myself that. You guys feeling it? I don't talk about it as much in my channel, but I have always been a fan and I always wanted a Tacoma. I don't know, I procrastinated for 6 years before pulling the trigger on this one. Here's the reel. I purchased a version of the Tacoma that's not really popular because everybody wants the 4x4 TRD package and blah blah blah. I went with the base. The base as in the basic version. So this is a 2-door access cab with an SR5 package. So the SR5 package offers like automatic windows, and I don't know what else does it offer because there's nothing else in it. Like literally, it's a 4-cylinder 2700cc motor with a 5-speed manual, rear wheel drive, so it's not a 4x4. What that gives you is MPG. Yes, I am a car guy. I'm talking about MPG because on my daily driver, I need MPG. I drive a lot, and higher MPG helps me keeping the cost of the drive low, even though the company pays for it, but also I pay a portion of it. So blah, 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 blah. It helps me keep the cost down. So I've been driving this for about 3 weeks because I literally purchased it the day my daughter was born because I was on a panic. I went on the interweb and I found a bunch of them. Same day I saw 3 trucks and I ended up going with this one. And I will show you in a bit why I ended up going with this one. So 4-cylinder, 5-speed, it gives me 650 to 700 kilometers per tank of gas, so 65 liters. So I easily get 10 liters per 100 kilometers or 24 mpg on a daily driving, a mix of 50-50 city and highway, which is pretty spectacular for a vehicle that size. It's unfreaking believable. All right, let's show you the motor first. To all my Z fans out there, one thing you will notice is space. Oh my god, there's so much space all around. If you drop a tool, it will make it to the ground, which is unfreaking believable. You can do so much in this truck without taking the motor off or something ridiculous like that. So what that does is the cost of labor to work on it is cheap. I can do a lot of the work myself, and Toyota being a Toyota and Tacoma being a Tacoma, how popular it is. The parts are extremely cheap, very available, and at the end of the day, everything is built to perfection. Toyota overbuilt this platform because they built this platform for rest of the world, not only North America. So high heat in Africa, Middle East, and then Australia. Holy, these guys, the Aussies are fanatic about their Tacomas. and then Southeast Asia, Asia, Europe, you name it. They sent Tacomas everywhere. Now, here's the other thing. Some of you will go in the comment section and type like,
yeah, you meant the first and the 160 horsepower motor.
yes, you know why? Because only North America got the 4-liter V6. The rest of the world got the 2.7 4-cylinder motor. Think about all the vehicles in Middle East and Europe, Southeast Asia, Australia. They beat the crap out of them, and these motors are reliable. Top of that, highly fuel efficient, which is you can't buy reliability and fuel efficiency together, but somehow Toyota managed to put it together. Can't say that for the V6 motor, which is also a highly reliable motor compared to the North American standard, but the 4-cylinder motor beats the V6 4-liter motor hand over fist. Let's give you guys a start out of this 4-cylinder motor. This motor is whisper quiet. It's a little too quiet for me, to tell you the truth, because I shift based on the engine vibration or the sound, so the tactile feeling. This motor, sometimes I have to look down because I will probably at 4,000 or 5,000 RPM and I haven't shift. So lots mods coming in. I'm gonna give a couple of baby revs and let's see what you guys think. As I said, it is super quiet. This truck is its 2005 model, which is basically the first year of his second-gen Tacoma. And I had to pay 13,000 Canadian. That includes taxes and everything, because I did buy it from a dealership. About that dealership, they tried their best to rip me off, and I'm still fighting with them for something else. I will be making a video showing how they tried to rip me off, and it's not really going on their favor right now because they admitted it. Anyway, because it is a vehicle about 16 years old, the body is not perfect. What I'm going to do is, there's just wear and tear. I'm going to get it polished so the body is a little better condition, and also these vehicles suffers from a terrible frame rot. So if I can show you, right before I purchased this, the vehicle went through a Toyota frame replacement program. So all the parts, the frames, suspension, brakes, everything else went through, except the motor. Everything else is brand spanking new, so I lucked out on that one. Let's show you the inside. So this is the access cab. It's a 2-door coupe, but it does have these doors. It's called the suicide doors. Oh my god, I love these doors. They are so cool, phenomenal. Now if you look in the back, let's start from the back. In the back, there's not enough space. It's not enough space for a human to sit. I'm going to show you the seat on the other side. I have been working on it. I did a couple of mods already. These seats locks into place, and this is all you get. This is how I sit in the front. And if I have to sit in the back, it's an uncomfortable ride. Yes, maybe we can do a short drive on it, but for a longer period of time, this is very uncomfortable. Can't really sit here for too long. It's just inconvenient. And the seat is hard. You can also pull these seats, and then it turns it into a kind of a bed for put your stuff, tools and stuff like that, which I use it for. In the passenger side, there's provision for a baby seat. So seat anchors on these two sides, and then the one in the back. Now, when you have a baby seat here, one thing you can do is do that. When you do this, your baby has an unobstructed view the rest of the car. Baby loves it. My son absolutely loves it. One thing I noticed is when I have the baby seat, this is too upright, and when he sleeps and whatnot, it's not a good position for him to sleep like this. So I did bring him to the front seat. So in Toyota Tacoma, you can actually put a baby seat at the front because you can turn off the airbag. Link on the description and link up here where I show you how you can put a baby seat in the front and what's the bylaw about it. So in a Toyota Tacoma, you can put a baby seat in the front, and it's totally legal. For an adult, there is plenty of space to sit, and you know, the trusty dash. It's a no frills, straight, simple vehicle with a shifty boy. I love this noise because it's a truck, right? On the driver's seat, again, it's a perfect spot. Like, there's plenty of space for one person to sit in the front. And the way I sit in the front, there's not enough space in the back. Maybe I can bring my seat a little forward and allow another human to sit in the back. But who will sit in the back? Well, you have the window controls in the door. Over here, because you know you don't have any of these functions, you don't have 4x4 or anything like that. All you have is a 400 watt power outlet in the back, which is a little finicky because you can't really use a tool which is too power hungry. You can use a small tool like a reciprocating saw or something like that. Kind of defeats the purpose, but you know what? Still got it. Over here, you have the Speedo, Taco, hot and cold, and a 4x4 system. There's a bunch of options right over here which you don't have it. Your HVAC control. This section looked totally different, but I updated this, so check out next week's video where I show you how I installed this. Pretty simple, straightforward. And right over here where I showed how you can turn the airbag off. In 2005 they knew we're gonna have a lot of smartphones, so 2 smartphone charging jacks. Now here's the interesting part. It has a handbrake by hand. It's how it's on. You want to turn it off, you press a button right behind it, turn, put it back, it's off. That is a 20-some or maybe 30-year-old technology Toyota is still using in their vehicle. Now the center console, there's 2 big cups and a small cup. This is a 5-speed transmission. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, and reverse. One thing I'm going to say is the gearing on this transmission is very tall. So in 5th gear, and if you're trying to do 120, which is 75 on the highway, your RPM is probably a little shy of 2,500. Usually in a 5-speed vehicle, in a 5th gear on 120, you're probably closer to 3,000, but this is about 2,300. That basically says about the gearing is tall. Even on 1st gear, I can go up to 30 kilometers. 2nd gear, I can go up to 60. 3rd gear, I can go up to 80 or 90. 4th gear, I usually go over 100. And then 5th gear, I go to 120 and cruise. That is a tall gear ratio, too tall for a truck. But on the other hand, this is a access cab, small truck. The other day I went for a garbage run, and then there's a weighing scale. My Santa Fe weighs 1,920 kilo, where this weighed 1,860, which is quite a bit low, over 100 kilo lower than a Santa Fe. Like seriously, this truck is light. That's pretty much it. It's a tiny interior. I don't know what else to show you here. You have your sunglass place, and there's another place. I don't know what you do over here. You have your fancy makeup mirror. These shades extend, which is a very good feature. On the passenger side door, there's a height adjustable for the driver's side seat belt. Before I show you the truck came with 15-inch skinny funny donut looking tire. Those wheels were also severely bent, and the dealership somehow put tires on those wheels and called it safe, which is another issue that I fought with them. So finally we agreed on. I supplied the rims and tires, they put it on. I could have done it too, but I just want them to work. That's the bed. It's a pretty no-frills bed. Factory plastic. I'm going to shoot a video on how do I install a rubberized undercoat in this bed. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe button. And I was talking about that 400 watt outlet. It's right over here. You can put a US power outlet right over here and run your tool. Now the truck bed has a bunch of spaces for your hideout stuff. And then it has a cover. Goes there and you can close it off. Here is one, same on that side, and then right beside where the power outlet is, there's another one. That's that. Now the vehicle did not come with this tonneau cover. I went on Facebook Marketplace and I purchased this used tonneau cover. I literally paid $50 for this tonneau cover. So the tonneau cover, it was a trifecta tonneau cover. It was literally $50. What basically says the aftermarket used parts or mods, whatever you want to call it, is extremely cheap. That gives me a couple of ideas what I can do with it. So it's not going to be a build or anything like that because it is my daily driver. I will be doing a lot of work in it. Make sure the 16-year-old vehicle can give me another 10, 12 years of service. I will be keeping this vehicle for quite a bit of time because it only has 150,000 kilometers, even though it's a 16-year-old. My neighbor had one with 680,000 kilometers. I will have this for next quite a bit of time, and I also need the bed because I'm doing a lot of parts for the Z. I already used this truck 3 times. I needed a truck, I really do. And honestly, the Z part side of the business will literally pay for this truck. That's that. I'm gonna keep it short. I will be making a buying guide on a Toyota Tacoma 2nd Gen. This one is just unveil the truck to the channel and do a little bit of walk around how an access cab looks like to the rest of the interweb. I already did a couple of maintenance stuff on the truck, which I shot the videos. They will be coming in. I'm changing all the oils, the engine, tranny, diff. I changed the spark plugs. I am looking forward to an intake and an exhaust to make it a little louder. And maybe, because it is a two-wheel drive truck, it's pointless to lift it, and I don't need a lifted vehicle for no apparent reason. I may lower it. Stay tuned, hit the subscribe button and bell notification. A lot of shenanigans coming in, getting some work done on the Z, getting some work done on the Skyline. I am grounded for a bit because of the kids, but I am still meeting up with my friends. We're going to a couple of meets, a couple of little cruises, and as long as my wife says, as long as I get to take my son or take away my son from her so that she can get a little bit of her me time, I can go attend these places, which I will take my son. Let's see how that works. We'll see you on the next one.